Impact Plus Life and Health is Swiss Re's data and analytics solution for life and health insurers. This innovative and modular analytics platform powers up portfolio growth and profitability through plug-and-play products. It leverages state-of-the-art technology and Swiss Re's risk knowledge to provide distinct value across the entire life and health value chain, thus supporting cross-functional decisions. Next on stage, Impact Plus Life and Health by Swiss Re Reinsurance Solutions.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jennifer Green. I'm Head of Data Services at Life and Health, and I head up the Impact Plus product that you just heard on the screen. So every year, millions of lines of data is collected in the industry. And often this data is collected in silos and is difficult to use at the point of decisioning. With Impact Plus, we're able to connect and transform data so you can use it at the point that you really need to make that decision. Today, I'm going to walk you through the Impact Plus utility for medical intelligence, and in particular, focus on the claims risk scoring model. The claims risk scoring model is one of our utilities that helps us take data and use it at the point of where we need to make decisions. Through the utility, we'll be looking at identifying fraud, waste, and abuse. And fraud, waste, and abuse is an issue that the industry has had for many years and is one that we've moved from triaging through to claims rules engine and now using modeling techniques to be able to identify these causes. At Swiss Re, our models combine both the model, AI modeling techniques and also our clinical technicians' expertise to enable real-time data-driven decisions using this, the clinical expertise to drive a dynamic result. Today, before we go into the demo, we will log into a client environment. We'll be using synthetic data, and we'll walk through how we can identify both systemic data and also how systemic fraud, and also how we can identify those claims that should be straight-through processed. So those claims where we can give a customer a better experience. And with that, we'll take a look at the demo. So on the screen now, you'll see our landing page for Impact Plus. This is where our clients have a private cloud environment where they access the utilities that they have licensed. Today, we're going to look at just one of those utilities, which is the medical intelligence and the claims risk score. Within the medical intelligence suite, we have 3 different models, but we're going to take a look at the claims risk scoring model. And as the tool runs, the machine learning models are running behind, and we want a scoring, which is what you'll see in that pie chart above your portfolio data. Here it's looking at the high, the medium, and the low-risk claims. Those low-risk claims are the areas what we would expect through an API that you could automatically process the claims into customers' administration systems. So freeing up assessors to look at those high-risk claims where they add more value. I want to look into deeper those high-risk claims. And if you look at the chart below, we're going to just scroll down and look at below, we can see that there is one provider that stands out. And if you look year on year, pink versus blue bars, you're seeing an increasing trend in this data. Curious as to see what that is, I'm going to dig deeper into the data now and look at this specific provider and really understand what's happening within this provider's data. Okay, the models are run now for this provider. And you can see immediately with the pie chart in the top corner, the difference in that high-risk profile. It's 23% versus the 3% we saw before. Again, being keen to understand what's driving this distance, the charts that are just calculating below show you now the provider's portfolio that we selected on the left versus a selection of providers on the right. Now, we can easily see from this radar graph there are 2 features that are really driving the differences in their medical portfolio: the length of stay and the complexity. Curious now of what's driving that. So let's dig into these two features and look at the profiling tab to understand and look at anything suspicious within this data set. So I'm going to open the profiling tab. And immediately now we're digging another layer deeper into the data. And what we can see versus our portfolio on the left and those selected providers on the right, on that length of stay, our inpatient and outpatient mix is different. And also if we scroll up, when we look at the diagnosis pattern is different. This causes me to think that we need to look deeper into this diagnosis. Again, just selecting that diagnosis, we can see the inpatient and outpatient split is very different. This leads me to think there is something with this provider that we need to have a deeper conversation, and gets me to that actionable insight that we're looking for within our tooling, and to have that conversation around, well, what's driving those differences and why is that portfolio different? Now, in this very brief demonstration here, in the last 2.5 minutes, what have I been able to do? Well, just by identifying that clause, there's a potential of £500,000 worth of claims that we could investigate further. So saving real bottom line savings for the client. Impact Plus Life and Health really is about the suite of tools that we have on to offer. We really are looking about turning data into insights to allow you to make real-time data-driven decision. Through the demonstration you've just seen, we've been able to identify a large proportion of claims to go straight through process, which will enable the customer then to focus on those claims that require the attention. We've also identified a provider that's a high risk and requires a deeper conversation. Both of these are helping you power your portfolio insights, keep your operational expenses down, and also protecting your profitability of the future. I would be delighted for those of you who haven't already come to see me post my last demonstration to speak to you more on this and how we're doing, applying the utilities on the other areas in the value chain. Thank you so much.